frostbitten, black and white, my wayward gold.
It has everything to do with a condition called transverse myelitis. And I was wondering, for the people who don't understand what that is, and also for those who realize that it is part of the reason that we are working to help you become as independent as possible in your life going forward with the PensaKelly Catch Me If You Can race, would you tell us what is transverse myelitis?
Well, I'm not an expert, but what I learned through my doctors and a little bit of internet research is that basically it's a virus that affected my spine, and it's almost like the body's attacking itself, and so it went to a certain section and affected certain areas that then affected my mobility in different places within my body.
Okay.
So it's technically a spine injury that originated with the virus.
Okay.
And then the virus hit, and it did do some damage. And so hopefully through rehab, I can minimize that damage.
Yeah.
But it takes a long time.
And the rehab that you've had up to this point is by West Florida Rehabilitation Institute?
West Florida Rehabilitation Institute. All their staff, their physicians are excellent, state of the art.
Cool.
Yeah, they've been really great, and they've given me a lot of hope. And I've actually improved. I can tell that I've improved, but they do stress the time and to not get too panicked over the slow process.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
And I've done a little bit of study myself, as you know, because you're my dear friend, and I wanted to know as much as I can about what's going on for you.
Right.
And I found that, like you said, the spinal, it affects, transverse myelitis is like a fluid buildup, and it can develop anywhere along the spine. And I believe the area that it's for you is the lumbar region, which affects hands and...
Mine is C5 to T2, and the doctors had said if it had been a little bit lower, then I would have the use of my hands, my fingers. But because it just kind of zigzagged through my body, it affected different areas. Some people, can use their hands, and some people, can't walk. So it's just sporadic.
So, okay, now March 4th was the day that your life totally changed.
Right.
And I know people want to understand, and if you can do it, I hope that you'll be willing to share what happened that day.
That morning I was getting ready to go to work, and I just thought I pulled a muscle in my right shoulder. Okay. And then a couple hours later, then it went to my left shoulder. And because I have a girlfriend that's had nerve damage and described it so vividly to me, that's when I began to realize something wasn't right. So I went home, and then my fingers started going numb, so much so that I couldn't even dial the cell phone. Okay. And so a friend came over just randomly, and so I decided to call 911. And I was actually able to walk to the stretcher. And in ER, then the right leg went, and then the left leg went. I mean, I actually watched myself go paralyzed. But luckily for me, I wasn't in any pain, and I could still feel everything. So I knew that was positive.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why, it could have been worse. Yeah,
So obviously it's changed your life a lot.
Yeah.
And would you be willing to talk about a little bit of that? Like how has things changed for you now?
Well, obviously I can't be as mobile, I can't run, but luckily for me I was a homebody anyway, and so I'm dependent upon people, and since I was pretty independent, that's kind of difficult. But there's been a lot of positives. There's so many people across almost like the United States, praying and coming out through Facebook and telling me, how much they care. Yeah. It's been very touching. So that's been positive. And I've met so many people in different parts of Pensacola that have been completely impressive in their professionalism. And there's a lot of people to thank that have just been so supportive. And this, you and and your husband Michael doing the Catch Me If You Can run, because nobody's heard of this. Everybody's just amazed that it even exists. So it's strange. In February, I did a 15K called the Double Bridge Run here at PensaKelly, and then the next month, you know, then I can't walk. So it's just odd.
Absolutely, I understand. Or really, I don't understand, you know, but I want to know, and I really appreciate that.
Well,
you're
you were
able
there
to
from
talk
the
about it.
beginning, so you can kind of see how I progressed.
And you've had some other people kind of come to bat, you might say, like the people who worked on the ramps.
Yeah,
and
Jeff Thrasher, he built like a state-of-the-art ramp, if you can call a wheelchair ramp that. But anyway, the Captain Fun Runner group, the running group that I'm involved, everybody has helped me in a variety of ways. And the city of PensaKelly, the fire department, and has helped me. And,
that's the best.
Yeah, there's some hotties out there. And so, you know, all my doctors and the nursing staff, very, very professional. And I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out. But, you know, it's been touching.
And throughout all this, I got to meet your mom, Martha Nelson, also. And she's been here like 2 or 3 times. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But she's been pretty awesome.
Well, and I also need to thank both of my exes in Texas.
Aha! I hear a theme song.
I was going to say, that sounds like a song.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's really actually true.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, what about some kinds of things that would help you to be more independent? Like you mentioned, I know you're a very independent person, and you have, like, you're real crafty, and you know, you work on a garden, and you were in the real estate industry, and I remember you ran a 10K with me back in December of 2012. I mean, you're a very active person. So what kinds of things would you say from this point forward would help you to be more independent? You mentioned like lowering the doorknob or what, all those things.
Yeah, making my house user friendly, so that then I can be alone for longer stretches and things like that, and then having people come in periodically. You know, I've got emergency equipment since I wouldn't be mobile enough to get myself out of my home in case there was an emergency. So, you know, friends have taken me places so that I can still be involved with all of my friends and the beautiful beaches of PensaKelly and things like that. And basically, you know, having some home care, because that's the downside to this, is there's always that threat that, you know, you can't take care of yourself. And then what do you do?
Right. So these are the most important things that you've just described.
Right. And so, but I've got plenty of time to think about it. And since I was into home improvement and a lot of the remodeling that had been done in my house, you know, luckily I know all the aisles in Home Depot.
Yeah.
And so I know what might possibly work to help me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you have that background knowledge already that's coming into play.
Right.
Wow, there could be a small business in the future.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I don't know what it'd be called, but maybe PensaKelly something.
Yeah, true.
PensaKelly decorating, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, well, I just want to say that, you know, I appreciate you being willing to discuss transverse myelitis, and we're definitely going to get the information out, you and everyone involved, regarding the foundation itself. Who's the CEO?
Now, Rehab Foundation, I can't stress enough, whenever I was in the initial stages, I would not have been able to go to West Florida Hospital or Rehabilitation Institute if it hadn't been for this philanthropic foundation that guaranteed my stay in case I didn't have other funding. So they're just they're members of the community that raise money. So it's a nonprofit, and I just can't thank them enough.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you remember what the CEO's name is of the Transverse Myelitis Association?
Sandy, I can't remember. Sandy Siegel.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
And then a gentleman named Alan Rucker, who wrote a book, he actually woke up paralyzed. See, I went to work, and but he woke up from a nap. It's really it's a very scary virus that affects the spine. It's astonishing.
So the best seat in the house, Howard woke up one Tuesday and was paralyzed for life.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, and it affects only a select few. And I told some of my girlfriends that I always wanted to be one in a million.
Oh.
So anyway, that seems to have happened.
So thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thanks to Michael.
Oh,
Thanks. And I'm looking forward to the race.
me too.
Okay.
The world around me flocks of crows. Search the streets for leads I didn't know. Black and white my way would go. When it grew cold, I met this girl I knew I'd know. Bag slung along her shoulder. It's getting cold is all I told her. And I would hold a boombox for you.